Buenos días amigos, aquí tengo otro libro para compartir con ustedes. Hampton Court Palace. Although Hampton Court Palace was planned from the first on a regal scale, it was not originally a royal residence. It was built by Thomas Wolsey, the proudest prelate that ever breathed, and presented by him to his master, King Henry the VIII. The furnishings, tapestries, and plate with which he had filled its rooms were included in the gift, which appears to have been made in 1525, when Wolsey already foresaw the decline of his power and the need to try to retain the king's favor. He continued to enjoy the mansion as his own until his disgrace became imminent 4 years later. On the 3rd of July, 1529, he left Hampton Court, never to return. On the 30th of October, his lands were declared forfeit to the king, who also claimed York House, Wolsey's London home, as Archbishop of York, renamed Whitehall. It continued to be the capital seat of the sovereign until it was accidentally burned down in 1698. Even before Wolsey's death on the 29th of November 1530, the king had begun to enlarge Hampton Court, which was designed around the conventional sequence of courtyards. Wolsey's great gatehouse led from Outer Green Court on the west into Base Court, and this in turn to what is now called Clock Court, where the cardinal had his state and private apartments. Within 6 years, King Henry had replaced the cardinal's great hall with the one which stands today on the north side of Clock Court. At the east end of the palace, he added Cloister Green Court, which was enclosed by a new lodging for himself on the south, a lodging for the queen adjacent to it on the east, and Wolsey's chapel and long gallery on the north. The Tudor royal apartments were demolished by Sir Christopher Wren, who built for King William III and Queen Mary II the state apartments and private rooms, which are so superb a feature of the palace today. Hampton Court is chiefly a memorial of its founder, Cardinal Wolsey, and the 3 sovereigns who staged it most conspicuously displays, Henry VIII and William and Mary. The history of the manor can be traced from 1086, when Hampton in the county of Middlesex was described in Domesday Book. By the middle of the 13th century, it was in the possession of the Knights Hospitallers of St. John of Jerusalem, who built a small manor house on the site of the present palace. Now I am going to show you some beautiful photographs of Hampton Court. One moment, please. This is the book, and this is the facade of Hampton Court Palace. And then we have this photograph. And these photographs. So here this is Wolsey's closet. The early 16th century paintings, which were done either for Wolsey or for Henry the VIII, illustrate scenes from the Passion of our Lord, the ornate gilt, gesso ceiling, bears, Tudor roses, and the feathers of the Prince of Wales. Below, the phrase Wolsey's motto, Dominus mihi adjutor, the Lord be my helper, appears again and again. The great kitchen, this is the great kitchen, and Cardinal Wolsey. Cardinal Wolsey, who began to build Hampton Court for himself in 1514 and surrendered it to Henry the VIII in 1529. Above, this is the Chapel Royal. Of course, when you see the film or the series of Henry the VIII, Cardinal Wolsey is much more handsome than this photo of himself in real life. So, this is for today, the reading of Hampton Court Palace. I hope you like it. I hope it's of your interest. And we will come back later on with another reading of Magallanes, perhaps Magallanes. Thank you for accompanying me.